Why are we such children?
I don't know. I saw Avedon doing this, so
Yeah,
I
I like
started doing it too.
the shimmy. Shit, 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 eat shit, eat shit, eat shit. That's
So
basically what
hello
everybody
everyone.
told me all day. Eat shit.
Whoa,
The hell was that?
I don't know.
Tanya eating her mic.
She jumped on her seat.
I hit it with my cup. I forgot it was there.
So, oh, fucking this fucking thing.
Hello, everybody. In
Hello everyone out there. We are our go live phrase is stop talking shit because you never know. So that's why they did the
We're
opposite.
talking shit.
shit, talking shit.
Thanks for joining us. We are continuing with the Bums of Greenest Tyranny of Dragons campaign. I am struggling hard to make sure that the audio syncs up with the video, so you guys can let me know how it goes. I have the bare minimum running on my computer right now, which includes our new sponsors program, Foundry Virtual Tabletop. You can't see it right now because we just have the beautiful faces up, but we will be using Foundry Virtual Tabletop going forward, and they can. Well, I think it's a thing that I can do. Hold on, I forgot the. So you can type !Foundry, and does it work? There it is. It works. So they are sponsoring us. When we hit 50 subscriptions, we will be giving away. Whenever that happens, we will be giving away a. You have to do it in the. You have to do it in the chat in Twitch. You can't do it in Foundry. Anyway, we'll be giving away a license so that you can have your very own copy of Foundry Virtual Tabletop. It is amazing. It's fantastic. I cannot even tell you how unbelievable it is. There's just a lot going on all in it. And it's today, for example, I built a merchant. And I should make it so you guys cannot see him. So I'm going to do that. Okay. So I built a merchant who you already have seen, and this way, if you want to go find something in a city, so I'm going to start building out cities and everything, you can just be like, hey, I want to go try to find a blacksmith, and I can tell you the name of it. You can go into the journal, look it up, and then everything in that person's inventory will be there, and then you can just click to buy out of the inventory so that we don't have to like role play the whole thing.
Is this just one magical character that follows us from city to city, like the merchant in Resident Evil 4?
No, I
something
made.
you might like, Strike.
Oh my god.
What you looking for?
No, I made David. So I made David's store,
Okay.
and that was just a test to try to like figure out how to build a merchant. So I'll just be doing that. Like more.
I can send you his hero forge that I made.
Oh yeah, that would be good.
Colorize him and stuff.
That would be good because I just found some random art. But yeah, so that's an example of things that we can do. And I will. I'll be sharing more about that every Monday when I do my DM prep, and because there's just so much to do now. I was like kind of struggling a little bit before to figure out what to talk about on DM prep. Because most of my prep was like typing stuff in OneNote, but now there's a lot to do. So our second sponsor, who was actually our first sponsor ever, but it didn't like transition smoothly this time. What is
our favorite sponsor?
Our favorite sponsor, our local sponsor, the Armory War Games and Hobbies, located at 67 Huddleston Avenue in Fairhaven, Massachusetts. Because of them, we have a bunch of giveaways to do, whether it's colored minis or dice trays or dice. Our latest winner was Nat Awesome, who will be getting a big giant D20, this beautiful turquoisey type color that I'll be sending out very soon. Probably do like twice a month send out thingies. And yeah, support your local hobby store. There aren't too many of them, so let's try to keep them in business. And you can check them out. We've got both of our sponsors, the panels below. You can click and go to their websites. And yeah, I think that's it for. Did anybody else have anything they wanted to say?
No, I'm just gonna try to stay awake.
Okay.
You can do it.
A reminder. We did add Thursday night content, so I don't know exactly what we'll be doing this Thursday, but we'll figure it out. And the first Thursday of every month will be our one-shot Thursday. Right now we are running Trial of Chiefs, a one-shot that is being DM'd by our very own Erdnot. I think it's this way that I point. Yes,
Yay.
that way. And he's doing a fantastic job. For those of you who have been able to catch it.
Don't lie.
No, you're doing great.
You're doing great.
Stop fishing for compliments, you.
Right?
I don't like compliments. I don't fish for them.
Do I look fat in this dress? Oh my god, no, you look great.
I do
You're
look
the
great in that
best
dress.
That he
You
won't.
do.
If you
Erdnot
try
looks
to
better,
compliment
but you
his
look
looks,
okay.
yeah, he'll always take a looks compliment.
Oh,
Oh, yeah.
the vanities.
See, I'm like, I just hate how I look at this.
I don't have your windows up on the Skype. It's just me.
He tiled just himself. Hide
Yeah.
everybody else in the
Just
conversation.
multiples. It's like
Oh
the
my
Brady,
God.
just all Cuba.
It's all
When
different angles.
when
You don't know is he actually has like 6 cameras set up.
that'd
He has
be a
all of them
fantastic
selected.
idea.
3D
He has all of them
cams.
selected on his Skype instead of us. We're just little circles in the corner.
But on Thursdays when Zan is up and ready for his one shot, that one doesn't necessarily need to be like the once a month thing. Like the once a month is kind of to accommodate Eric down there. So
Well, if we could do, I said we could do like probably every other week is what I said last
yeah,
time. I think.
okay, yeah. So like
Alright,
yeah,
whenever.
it could like alternate or whatever. And if there's no game on Thursday, then I can start The Last of Us 2 on this Thursday.
So good. You will not be disappointed. Just saying. Terrific game.
I love the
Alright.
first one, and I stayed
This
spoiler
one's even
free.
better, if that can be true. But
We'll see. We'll see.
no, it's really good.
So it's just checking out that David. That's pretty cool.
I know, that's
Set
awesome.
up like that. Oh.
Oh wait, how do we find it?
It was kind of fun though, roaming
If
around.
you go into the actors directory, and it's under El Toro,
Oh,
Yes.
you just click on that and it brings this whole thing.
So,
yeah.
we'll
I have to
transition.
get this thing.
I'm gonna do our little intro for the bums, and then we'll transition over. I'm gonna start winging the recaps because I don't have time to remember to type them up anymore. So, just gonna start winging it. So here we go with our bums intro.
one. Amazing.
You know, when like a few months ago, like in the beginning of the pandemic, when like you order something from Amazon and it'd take like 5 or 7 days, you're like, what is this? Like you're so used to the 1
We're
or 2 day
spoiled
shipping.
now.
Yeah, it's like, you know, they're like back to it now. You see more like FedEx and Amazon vans roaming around than anything else. But it's just, yeah, we were so like, it's like, yeah, sorry, there's a pandemic right now, so can't have your stuff in 2 days. We're like, what?
I want it now.
All
Look at
right.
that.
Oop, sorry.
No, I was just gonna say it's like Willy Wonka.
Yeah, I was gonna say we all turned into Veruca Salt. I want it now!
All right, so jumping back into the game, we are rejoining our
Sorry, guys.
Our motorcycle ride.
That was
Yeah,
Abaddon's
oh
fireball.
Lord Nikto, party of 19. We are being raided.
19. Thank you, Lord Nicto.
That's an early raid. for
Thank you
us.
so
Yeah, that is
much.
an early
Yeah,
raid
that
for
was
us.
right at the
Already.
beginning.
Hi Raiders, thank you so
Hi,
much.
Raiders. Oh
We're
my God,
so
I love
happy to
Zan
see you.
2020.
What was that?
I don't know, someone's spamming Zan 2020 right now. Not spamming.
No, spamming in a good way.
Spamming in a good way, yeah.
Thank you,
Not
everybody.
bad.
Nice to see you
Good.
all.
I can't wait till we have our raid emojis.
I know, we're
Right?
getting them.
Hype.
We've got Lord Nikto. We've got, who else we have? Omega. Hey, everybody. I was just over in Villager, Angel, Kellen. I know all of
This is
these.
perfect
I know all of
timing.
these people because
Yep.
I hang out on
to
his
watch
channel
us
for
torture
hours
somebody.
Get into it.
at a time.
Oh, that was
Oh.
only torture after Abaddon killed all of his friends in one shot.
Shut up!
Remind
Don't
you.
bring it up.
Game.
She had to do it. Let's
Oh.
not make her feel bad.
William's
His
here.
eggs, their
Now
eggs
she's
are
gonna
gonna be
cry.
cold at home.
She's so upset.
Squish.
Yeah,
Perfect
she-
timing,
she's-
everybody, because we're just getting started with our D&D session. So thank you so much for hanging out. And I see you all. I didn't say everybody's names, but I see everybody. See all of you. Okay. So, okay, so we were just rejoining the Bums of Greenest, who had traveled north from Baldur's Gate to Waterdeep, and then from there continued on to the Carnath Roadhouse, passing the Mere of Dead Men and ending up like just on the cusp there at the Carnath Roadhouse, which is a former hostelry that is being used as a base of operations to rebuild the road, the trade road, from Waterdeep to Neverwinter. Following the cult, you discovered that they appear to have employed some lizard folk to transport the stolen goods and items from their various raids through the Mirror of Dead Men to an yet unknown location. Somebody's lurking. So, you set up sort of an ambush at a camp that you came across.
That's a good way
We
of
tried.
putting it.
It was an ambush. It just
Oh,
didn't
man.
work.
You set up an ambush.
Yes.
And after being attacked by some pretty nasty giant worms out in the mirror, you were able to rest and kind of wait around for the lizard folk who did arrive. You let them go, and then on their way back, Abaddon completely annihilated all of them with a single fireball to the center of the lizard folk group, leaving the leader alone and in a bit of a state of shock, it appears.
Watch
Abaddon
our words, DM. Let's watch our words.
also turned your companion halfling into a cake for a full minute, and she was almost eaten. But then
Okay, who almost ate her? Ernot wasn't gonna eat her. He was just confused.
I think Micaiah was coming over
I
for a
would've.
bite.
This is a real
I was so gonna eat that cake.
Just gonna eat the shit out of that cake. So yeah, we pick up. Basically, you've tied up the lizard folk, who is staring at the remains of his burnt and destroyed brethren, and all of the, well, probably not so much concerned about the loot that they were carrying, but yeah. So you have him tied up. What you doing?
Is one lizard folk a lizard fuck?
Think of the word.
But
We begin with one lizard fuck.
One lizard fuck in
Well, when two
the
lizard
mirror.
folk love each other, Abaddon. These.
do they speak Draconic?
So this one, he had actually turned to Arik, and so yes, they do, but in common, he turned and said, "What do you want?"
Oh, okay. So he speaks
Ernot
common.
slaps Eric on the back and says, "Your turn, boy. What's your plan?"
I'm gonna just crouch down and he's on his knees, sitting on the ground.
You guys had tied him up, so he's on his lizard butt, which I will describe to you now as in order to clear one of these out.
Speaking of butts.
Just say we didn't get not even 5 minutes in before we have to describe the first ass.
Speaking of butts, he is sitting on his, which you haven't really ever seen a lizard folk close up.
Lizard fuck.
You don't know
lizard
that.
fuck close up. But you wonder, but in this case, he is sitting on top of his tail, because that is a question that, some people may have. Do they sit on top of the tail? Does the tail stick out in the back?
Yeah.
And from what
I
you
was
can see
wondering.
at the moment, he's sitting on top of his tail. And so whether or not there are cheeks is yet to be determined based off of the way he's sitting.
No, I mean, that makes sense. A tail would be a
Cliffhanger, huh?
natural chair. And I would imagine there are cheeks under there, and you don't want to be sitting on the cold, swampy ground, so you sit on your tail, keeping your cheeks clean and
I
dry.
don't know. Look at a
Clean
gecko.
cheeks.
A gecko doesn't have much. Anyway, what are we gonna do?
Don't sit on the cold ground, you'll get the piles. I don't know if you ever had a grandma that told you that. Just
Nope.
me. Oh, I was the only one with a only one with a crazy grandmother. Okay, cool.
Yeah, no.
Noted. All right, Arik's gonna come over and he's gonna kind of just get down on his level, just kind of crouch down and look at him and look over at Abaddon and look behind him at the smoking wreckage of the carcasses and everything that she's created, and look back at him and just say, "This is not your fucking night, pal, is it?"
And he looks away from you and looks back at the remains of his brethren there. And Abaddon, you actually hear a familiar voice in your ear.
Is it Bob?
It's the ghost of Bob.
Oh, close to
That
fucking
never
Christmas
freaking
past.
off.
Bob.
But what he does is always epic. It's always an epic statement.
It was
Are
so
you gonna whisper it?
innocent, curious.
Bob.
Are you whispering it
Yes.
right now?
Yeah, it just popped up. It should be in your thing. I think it shows up in rolls, just something to keep
Yeah.
in mind.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
do a
I think
whisper.
it did.
So as you're
That's misleading because that's Lauren's reaction for everything.
I know.
We should get that accepted.
So yes, so you hear that in your, the familiar buzz in your ear, but then the from like having this happen with Zan a lot, where you just get a message internally, and then you hear that, and Issa is standing next to you, Abaddon, and she had already just said, like, remind me not to get you pissed. And she comes
Is there any
over.
frosting on her?
No.
Okay.
There is no indication that she was ever turned into a cake. But she comes over and she's only 3 feet tall, so she pats you on your arm and is like, good job though. That's really cool. And then she walks away and heads over to the little group that's where the lizard folk is. So the lizard folk who had been introduced as Snapjaw that Vidania heard, is looking again out over across his deceased kin.
Abaddon is visibly affected, like just kind of a little bit shocked at how well that went, and not sure she likes how well it went. And I'm gonna stay over there, kind of like looking at the smoldering guts of everything.
And the lizard folk at this point is looking at Abaddon. What you doing?
Did you ask Abaddon what she's doing, or did you just ask the group?
In general, what's everybody doing?
I'll snap in his face like this, like to get his attention away from Abaddon.
Okay. And he looks back at you.
And I'll ask him what his instructions were, and by who. So I forgot that I gotta RP that, don't I? Shit, sorry.
No, you don't. No, you don't necessarily.
I'll look at him and
You do.
it's all right. I'll look at him and say, who were you working for, and what were your instructions?
Who's your daddy?
That's what's Who is your daddy and what does he do? That's all. Okay.
Who were you working for?
Are these all your lunches?
Somebody said, who eats 26 bag lunches? I'm not good at the RP. I try. I'm not good at it.
Okay, hold on. I just pictured them all having lunches now, and like that's what you blew up.
It's a battlefield of wrinkled
Snack packs.
Yeah, like
Snack
snack. What is it called? Lunch box.
They all had lunch boxes and Abaddon
And
blew.
a slow wind in a clear plastic baggie just starts tumbling.
A little thermos
zebra cake.
comes
Zebra
rolling with a little flame on it.
Oh, God.
Now I'm feeling snacky.
DM, can I search for snacks, please?
We're just going on a picnic.
Okay.
That's why it's so muddy, because we blew up all the pudding.
Oh no.
It's alright, we gotta burn it out of our system now.
Yeah, I saw that. Do that again. That was a really good. That was a really good impression.
Okay. All right. So who's your daddy and what does he do? Okay. So he.
Please, no, my father is Mr. Snapjaw.
He make a what are you going for here? Are you trying to be intimidating or are you trying to be persuasive? Because I guess that'll whichever one you're going for.
I wasn't really going for either in that I was just kind of talking to him, but I guess I can go for an intimidation, I suppose.
Like yeah, what's your
I'm gonna go I'll go with intimidation because we did just. Abaddon just blew up his entire crew in one shot, so
Alright,
there's no way
so
I'm gonna
that's the way
persuade
that
him nice.
he's approaching.
I was gonna say something that you said to me earlier in the week, but that's metagaming. Never mind.
Yeah, I thought about that, but that's not gonna make much sense. You know what I mean? I don't know. Alright, so I'm hitting.
By the way, guys, sorry. So in Foundry, I have made it so that you can turn off your little icons. So if you go into your game settings and then configure settings and then module settings, there should be a see what it's called. I forget what it's called. Sorry, there's so many of these on my list here.
Is it a hotkey?
No, it is called. Sorry, cursor hider. Who would have guessed? And you can hide by default. You can hit Alt plus C if you want to hide your cursor. And if that is, so you're hiding it from others. So Alt C. So just throwing that out there.
Or if we just click hide by default, does that also work?
It will, when you log in, it'll automatically hide it by default. I don't know if it'll do it right now, but it will tell you, I think. So if you look over at where it says players, there should be a little hand with a line through it on mine now.
Oh yeah.
So hit Alt.
Look at that.
Yeah, so hit Alt C and your cursor should disappear. And then you guys
That wasn't me.
Cool.
won't be annoying each other, I guess, with your cursors.
I'm not gonna do it.
So mischievous.
Surprise, surprise.
All right, so
You would have done it if it meant that something with scales died, though. Question, DM.
Yeah.
Since literally within the past minute, Abaddon destroyed his whole crew. Do I have advantage on an intimidation roll?
No. I would say she would, but not you.
Okay. Well, she's part of the crew, so that's why I thought maybe.
Yeah, he didn't see you do it. He saw her do it.
Can't you? Oh, that's a nat 1.
Oh.
So you're trying to intimidate him? So you ask this of him.
Add anything?
It did. It added up +5.
Oh, okay. Oh, I gotta click there you go.
So you ask this of him, and then he just turns and looks back at Abaddon. He doesn't answer you.
Okay.
Can I see that he's sorry? Go ahead.
I'm gonna look over at Abaddon and just kind of be like, oh, just kind of do one of these, like, hey, come on over here.
Can
Scary.
I see like that little conversation, like what distance or anything like that?
You are you're only about 15 feet away, so you definitely, if you're shifting your attention back over, you can see that the lizard folk is looking at you.
Okay. Is the Foundry on game paused right now?
Yeah, I have the
Okay.
time not going. That's all that means, is that the time of day is not clicking forward.
Oh, okay. Just checking.
Getting those nat ones out of the way now.
Okay, well, I'll walk over to the group and our lizard man. And, I guess I will say, you're alone now. There's nothing you can do. Shit happens. Where were you headed?
Make a persuasion check.
Do you think that DM that he would feel intimidated by her because of
He does, but
she didn't like
not
threaten
what she just said.
Yeah, she didn't threaten him. Well, I was just wondering. He would be like
Well, she-
shitting his pants, or how does he look? Does he look like visibly scared of her?
Make an
'Cause I'm
insight.
watching this whole interaction happen in here because I want to keep an eye on this.
That was
No,
a
she's-
17.
I was gonna say we know she's not gonna roll under what I did, so it's okay.
I should hope not. I mean, you can't really roll under that, I guess.
What did you roll?
Me?
No, I got you 17.
Insight. Hold on. I'm trying to use this on my phone, and I don't usually. +2, so I rolled an 11.
Okay. You see very slight, like, body movement shift when Abaddon approaches, but nothing drastic, nothing super overt, and it's hard to, you're not very well versed in lizard folk expressions. I don't know if you guys have seen what they look like, but I'll show you, like, more close up what they look like. And it's hard to like determine facial expressions from that if you're not one of them.
Oh, my heart.
It's a fucking dinosaur.
So
More like an iguana.
Godzilla.
Godzilla with a mohawk. With an ombre mohawk. I mean, I don't know where he found a hairstylist to do that, but it looks great.
it does look
I'm
like
more concerned how he has hair. He is a lizard.
lizard humanoid.
Oh, okay. So that's his human side. That's the
It's a
human half.
feather.
That comes
It's a
from his mom's side.
It's a feathery
His
crest.
dad is a little more reptilian.
So he looks he's looking at you, Abaddon, and this is why Lord Byron doesn't watch us.
He gets so aggravated with this crawler.
And he says, I work for the Dragon Kneelers. We were tasked with bringing all of that. And he just looks out at the busted everything, smoldering crates and sacks that are, a couple of them are still a little bit on fire, bringing it back. In exchange, they give us weapons. And he looks down.
Gonna elbow Abaddon. Ask him something else. Ask him something else.
I'm
Ask him-
gonna take a second and reflect on the voice that I heard in my head, and then I'm gonna say, kind of grit my teeth and say, I'd like to know where.
Terrifying.
Like
You
I'd
just
like to know
lost
where.
intimidation. Like
Yeah,
they
you
just
just
went
lost
down.
20 intimidation points.
You guys hear Issa in the back, she goes like,
You can adorabilize him to death, but you're not intimidating him.
Yeah, right?
I rolled a nat 1. You're gonna roll a nat fucking 20 on this, aren't you?
So no, I'm not gonna have you roll on that one. So
Is it because of my role playing?
It was so good. It was
Just
so
so
intimidating.
scary.
It was overwhelming.
you see him. He's looking down. He's not looking at you as you like make that face or anything, so he doesn't see it. But he's looking down at the ground, and then his eyes like kind of shift back and forth a little bit, like he's thinking of something, and then he looks back up at you and he says, I can bring you.
Why should we trust you?
And he looks over at Micaiah. Like, I do not ask you to trust me. You want me to bring you? I will bring you. And he looks back over at his dead friends.
Can I cast detect thoughts on him real quick?
Yep.
So I'm gonna do that. Oh crap. Okay.
I'm gonna.
Sorry. Just.
That's
Oh,
okay.
are you gonna pull it up, or do you want me to try to fucking figure this?
Do you want me to do it?
Yeah, I have no idea how to do this.
All right. I'm actually just gonna read it on your character sheet. So if you want, if you want it to show up in the chat, then hover over it on your character sheet or on your spells that pop up on the top there, and then click on the die that maybe shows up. I don't know what it looks like on there to like cast it. There you go.
I think I did it. Did I do it?
You did. And so now it shows up in the chat, and minimize this. Okay, so it says, for the duration, you can read the thoughts of a certain creature. Cast a spell on each turn. Focus your mind on any one creature. Intelligence of 3 or lower, that doesn't count. So he is more intelligent than 3. You initially learn the surface thoughts of the creature, what's most on its mind in that moment. As an action, you can either shift your attention to another creature's thoughts or attempt to probe deeper into their mind. If you probe deeper, they make a wisdom saving throw. Alright, so initially, as you look at this lizard folk and he's looking up at all of you, and you cast the spell, the surface thoughts that are on their mind is self-preservation type of thought, and it's a very complicated set of emotions where there's a very heavy grief overshadowing everything as he's looking out over at all of his brethren, but then when he's looking back at you all, it kind of shifts to maybe you can help them get out from under the boot of someone.
Did we just make a pet?
I don't know, but she killed 8 out of the 9 pets that we could have had.
He's not
It's a lizard.
No,
there's
he's not a
every
lizard.
One, there's
he's
6 or 7 more of them.
He's a lizard folk.
He's got feelings.
He's not an animal.
He's a lizard folk. He has feelings.
And he lays eggs.
But we don't know these thoughts because only
But a
Abaddon
specious.
is
Yeah, only
getting them.
Abaddon knows. But yeah, there's a kind of there's the grief, and then there's the maybe these people can help us with a goal of our own, basically, like get out from under somebody's boot.
Help his people.
Right.
Ooh.
More for Abaddon to murder.
You get a fireball. You get a fireball.
Meanwhile, she probably is crying inside because she's feeling his grief.
I am. It is not good.
Are you gonna try to probe deeper? Because that's what.
Yeah, I would
okay.
like to do that.
So she just killed all of his comrades. Now she's Jedi mind tricking his ass, trying to rip apart his mind.
When she's doing this, is she just staring and intensely at him? Is that how this works?
It's however you want it to work. Are you staring intensely at?
Well, I'm just curious, if she, while she's doing this, if the rest of us are just kind of standing there silently, waiting for someone else to talk, or if we're just kind of watching her glare into this dude's soul.
Okay. So you attempt to like focus your energy to go deeper into this creature's mind. However, when you do so, he looks over at you and then looks around a little bit confused, and it makes like a little grimace, and you're not able to get any more information than you already have.
Okay. I'll say to the group that we can take his word for it. He'll take us to where we need to go.
Do the rest of us know she has Jedi mind tricks?
You can make a perception check.
It's gonna be off.
Well, I know she used it before, but I don't know if any like.
I don't think you guys talked
us...
about it.
Okay, so
Yeah, you didn't talk about
I
it.
say like it's like, and how do we know his word is good? Would you say make a perception check?
Yeah.
Perception.
You just have straight roll?
Just 7.
Okay. As far as you were looking at the lizard folk's face, and like watching him talk, so you didn't see her doing anything in particular, so you don't know why she suddenly feels like she can trust him.
Question still stands.
If you trust me, you can trust him. It's our only choice anyway.
Or not just goes.
Arik's gonna look at the crater, and then back at her, and then the group, and say, "I believe her. She convinced me."
It's the fingers that got me. She knows stuff.
Is he tied up? Is that right?
He's tied up. Yep.
Zian,
Can I help him up?
Yep.
Zian just
sorry.
wants to ask him, where is it that we are going?
We go west to a stone building, a castle.
And how many people will be in this castle?
He looks a little bit confused by the question, but then he looks like he's thinking for a moment. Maybe 24.
So, these people, are they your people, or are they the Neelers that you speak of?
My people are there too.
Why is it
And-
that you call them Neelers?
And he kind of does a a kind of hissing looking face. And he says, they kneel for the dragon. Dragon kneelers.
So we can assume you are no friends of these Neelers.
We're not friends. It's the Bullywogs. They are their friends.
I'm sorry, I'm not familiar with your customs. What's a Bullywog?
Stinking, slimy frog.
Say frog.
Mm.
Oh, okay.
Have you and these frogs made an alliance with the dragon Neelers, or is this a forced sort of arrangement where you do not have a say in it?
They are friends with the Bullywogs. we get our weapons for helping.
If we could perhaps find a way to make these kneelers go away, would you be for or against that? It would mean ways of finding your own arms in a different way. But would you rather that than continue to serve under these kneelers?
Make a persuasion check.
That is not going to be good.
Come on, Zan.
Yeah.
Ugh, shit. You and I are on a roll.
So he looks at you and just gets silent in that after that question. He's looking at you, but you get the impression like that's a tricky question to ask somebody who may or may not be at the top of the totem pole, and you're not sure where he lies in terms of hierarchy.
Erdnot will pipe up and say, "When are you expected back?"
He looks over. Before tomorrow.
So we best be going soon then. How long will this boat journey take?
Many hours.
Is there anything that we should be expecting or trying to avoid along the way?
He looks at you again and like a little confused again, and Issa in the back is like, "We're in the Mere of Dead Men."
Are there any checkpoints where we may run into someone out on patrol?
No.
Do I believe him?
You can make an insight check.
Yeah, I'm just so good at rolls tonight.
Yeah, as far as you can tell, he is he's hard to read with that lizard folk face. But he hasn't given you the impression at the moment that he's not telling you the truth.
Eric would look at him and say, as our friend here had already offered to make them, the kneelers, go away, are you willing to help? Are your people willing to help us with that? We can come into some kind of arrangement. Your people are looking for steel and arms, correct?
Correct.
Armor and swords and other arms of steel that the kneelers have. You guys can have them. We'll take a couple pieces, if there's any that we want. Your people can have the rest. Would that be some sort of an arrangement? That way you can help us and we can help you?
He looks back at his people again and then looks at you and he says, "Show me."
I'm sorry, repeat that again.
He says, "Show me
Show you.
the steel."
Well, the kneelers have it, don't they?
The kneelers take it, and we don't see any of it again until they provide. I don't know where it is.
The steel, the swords, and other arms. I thought they provided you with that in return for this service that you're doing.
They do. But I don't know that it's in the castle.
Well, what I'm...
They're throwing him
Whatever-
the scraps, boy. That's what he's saying.
well, whatever they have, you guys can have it. But we'll need your help. There's only 7 of us. If some of your people help us, this will go a lot easier.
I
Are
will.
your people allowed inside the castle?
Yes.
Yeah, that could be useful. All right, sorry, I cut you off.
He says, I may be able to convince them. Then he holds
people?
out, yeah, he nods, and then he holds out his arms to you, which you guys have bound.
Just look. So he's holding them out for us to free him,
Mhm.
in that sense.
Yep.
All right. I would look at. All right, so I would look at him, and I would tell him also. After looking at the group, I'd look at him and say, regardless of what we've said or talked about, one move against us, and you will die. And I'd kind of nod my head over back to Abaddon, like she's gonna do it. That one, yeah, she's gonna do that.
And he looks at Abaddon, and then he nods to her.
And just as a matter of point, I would look to Abaddon, and then I would look back to him. And I would say, just curious, if you had beaten us, if this went the other way, what would you have done? Kill us? Would you have killed us?
Those are our orders.
So I'd look back at Abaddon and see, Avi, it's nothing personal. And then I'd take my dagger out and just slit the rope.
You
Or
cut
tie him,
your
whichever.
expensive rope?
This wasn't my most expensive rope. This was just a short shank that I had.
Excuse me,
cheaper
you
rope.
better not be using our expensive rope.
This is the rougher rope, not the silk stuff, not the softer stuff, sweetie.
All right,
not.
I was checking.
Ernot would look up at the lizard. I'm assuming he stood up.
Yeah, Abaddon helped
I think
him up.
Abaddon helped him.
Okay.
Yeah.
Ernot would gesture towards the crater and be like, "Go pay your respects before we leave, if that is what you wish to do."
So he steps over and walks over to that group of, well, it's not really a group. He walks over to the scattered
pieces.
Yes. And you
I
see,
actually feel kind of bad for him right now. I'm not gonna lie. Now I feel bad.
and
Thank you.
I
Well,
feel bad too.
Well, that's why I went out of the way to say, see, it's nothing personal. He would have done the same thing, if he could.
Yeah, but I know now I feel bad.
you see him kind of kneel before each, the most remains of each person, each lizard folk that he has come across.
Each smear.
Right.
Like Bob is over there on the tree trunk, and Raffle Golf or whatever the hell his name is over there smeared across the rock.
Going to eat Jackson Pollock recreation up and down.
And you see him take particular time at one of the bodies, and he takes several minutes with that one, just sitting there, on one knee, just quietly. So in the meantime,
Oh my God, that wasn't like his brother or something, was it?
Don't even.
We're
Are you
terrible.
kidding me?
I'm
We'll
so
ask him.
sad right now.
It's gonna be a
So-
real awkward boat ride.
Right? I feel awkward.
So in the
Kind
meantime,
of feels a knot in her stomach. She don't feel good.
in the meantime, Issa comes up to you guys and is like, "All right, so what's the plan, Stans?"
Apparently, we can trust him, and apparently, he's gonna lead us to where we need to go.
Apparently,
And I just look over at Avedon, like,
apparently, Abaddon is some kind of badass, right?
Well, did you just see what she just did to all of them?
I did
Obviously,
see that.
she's a badass. We didn't even know it.
Good job.
I thought she was gentle and loved horses.
Oh,
There's
she's
nothing
a
pretty about this
murderess.
battle.
Right?
There's
But she's
nothing
actually
pretty about
just
it.
as murderous as Vidania, maybe more.
it's like they're
Now we already
related in
had
another
one
life.
murder
Is this a
hobo in this group.
competition?
Now we have two.
And she didn't even have to take her shirt off.
The night is young.
So
There's nothing proud about this moment, but battle is battle, and we need to get moving.
look at you growing up. That is really.
I am growing up.
You guys
Guys.
should be proud.
Guys, out of the game. How do I turn my keyboard back on?
What? Turn your keyboard back on?
Why is it off?
I don't know.
How is
If
it off? Isn't
anybody-
it attached to your laptop?
Yeah, it's on the laptop, but I think the cat walked on it. I can't type any bullshit.
I have no idea.
So I'm just gonna have to say the bullshit. Okay, sorry. Go ahead.
Is it they hit the num lock? Doesn't that lock the keyboard on PCs?
No.
I don't know PCs.
No.
Alright, sorry.
Did you figure it out?
Nope. I'll figure it out. I thought somebody might know real quick.
F buttons.
Anyone in the in the chat?
How do you turn on the keyboard?
Sometimes it's one of those F buttons.
Alright,
Yeah.
I'll try all the buttons.
Alright, try all the F buttons.
Okay, sorry. Go ahead. I didn't mean to interrupt. I just can't type any bullshit.
Does the trackpad still work?
Yeah.
Weird.
Okay, sorry.
Tacos in the chat was asking.
Oh.
Oh, we have somebody who will actually help us. So Issa's like, all right, so the plan is head up towards this castle or whatever.
Yeah. So.
Abaddon, why do you suddenly trust him?
Yeah,
Sorry.
I
I didn't realize that was in character. Sorry, DM. I didn't catch that.
It's alright, boyfriend.
It's an instinct that I have. I feel like this is just what we need to do. You trust me, right? You said.
I wouldn't go that far, but you know, you did just blow up
Oh, burn.
9
Fair enough.
individuals. So that's got to count for something. I'll follow your lead.
Issa, you're a shrewd one, you know that?
I do know that.
Worthy. If she says it's safe, I believe her.
All right, Micaiah.
Avedon, do you see what he put in the chat? Go to settings, ease of access, keyboard settings.
Okay, I'll try that. Thank you.
Or it might be on the tray settings in the bottom right corner with the arrow that looks like this.
Like what?
Looks
Like
that.
that.
Like a little.
Like it literally looks like that picture.
Like that.
Looks
that
like a
icon.
triangle
She can't
without
see
a
the
bottom.
chat. She can't see the chat.
Oh, she can't see
An
it.
inverted V. How many
Oh,
ways
the
can we
The
describe
greater
this?
than, but
It looks
facing
like a hat.
up toward the
Like,
sky.
you know, in the French language, when they have that little hat.
Yeah.
Didn't you take French or some shit? I don't know. You were French.
Some shit.
Fucking shit. Alright, keep going.
It's okay, tacos. We got her. It's alright. Just like
Uh,
just like what Liz is doing right now.
So how many people can we fit in a canoe at a time? And what time of day is it? It's nighttime, right?
It is 3:40. We'll say it's been a few more minutes. It's 4:10 in the morning.
And we're supposed to be there by before tomorrow? Excuse me, Lizard Man?
Did he say it was many hours to get there?
It's
DM?
many hours
Yeah.
to get there, yeah.
Yeah, many hours.
Well, we have this 6 boats
Sorry.
now because they didn't take any back. So
How do we look a little less conspicuous? Will they be expecting? I mean, they'll be expecting them, so how do we make it look like it's not us?
They arrived in 3 boats, right? DM?
right.
They did.
So then maybe we should just take 3 boats.
That sounds like a good idea. And when we get close, I have passed without a trace if we need to be hidden. But
Ooh.
I just can't cast that until, it only lasts an hour. So I wouldn't want to cast that until we get much closer.
Erdnot's gonna sink the 3 boats we're not gonna take.
Everybody make a make an intelligence check.
Makai got a 14.
Oh wait.
Zan got a 14.
I was gonna say I had a 13, but I didn't see it pop up. Whoa.
Oh.
Oh, never mind. That wasn't my roll.
Oh no.
And
You're at 13.
All right.
9.
So
9?
19.
okay.
9.
Who rolls that?
Vidania pulls through at the end. So Vidania, you're kind of watching all of this interaction now, and you're looking at the explosion, and you're looking at the boats, and all the stuff that's strewn everywhere, and kind of just doing some quick calculations in your head, and you do realize that, like, while there were only the 3, well, they came on 3 boats, the stuff that they were bringing back would not have been able to fit in those 3 boats. So they definitely would have been spreading out, most likely across the 6 boats, and piling in the gear and crates and sacks and everything that they had on them.
okay. Should we bring all of the gear that they have just in case, so we can
It's
pass
all-
a little more for them?
It's all exploded.
Oh,
Just the impression that you got was while they came on the 3 boats, they would probably go back on 4, 5, or 6 of the boats because there wouldn't be
Oh.
enough space on. It's hard to tell. You did not get a good look at how much they had before it was strewn everywhere, but it would not
there
have fit on
any-
the 3 boats.
Crates or boxes that were not in the blast radius that they
No.
kind of dropped behind themselves.
Nope.
And did we already check that little area for any trinkets or any loot that fell, like out of
Yeah.
the crates?
You did.
We did. Okay.
Yeah. Everything was like, Fireball is very powerful spell, and
Nah.
like any
She
jewelry
fucking
and stuff,
Kami had that.
some of it's melted, some of it's just blasted into pieces.
Seemed pretty weak to me, honestly. It seemed better.
There's nothing that things that were worth something before the fireball hit are no longer worth anything.
Can I say to the group, how far do we want to travel? Oh no, I didn't get it. Do we want to travel into this castle, or do we just want to get the intel that we need and deliver the information?
Well, I don't particularly want to fight 24 folk, so it might be best to get there and see what we're up against,
Well,
and
that's
then
what I was
decide.
thinking. That's what I was thinking. When we get closer, if I cast pass without a trace, then we might be able to sneak around just to get the information that we need.
We still need to know. We still need to know where their final destination is. This is just one more part. This castle. We don't know if it continues to go to someplace else.
Well, perhaps we can get one of them alone, and if we have pass without a trace, cast, then we can just grapple one of them. Grab him.
We have one of them.
I know, but he might not tell us anything. We just killed all his people.
We need
How do we know that we can
need
trust?
a cultist.
And we need to know
We
where
need
the cult is going. He obviously is, considering possibly betraying those people, those kneelers. We need one of the kneelers.
Is he still back at the crater mourning, or is he
He's-
standing here with us?
He's started to head back to you guys. So he walks over and stands there.
But I
Just
think
for
we can get going.
just for clarification, when he said there was 24 cultist members in the castle, or
You asked him
cult
how many
members
people,
and bully.
and he said about 24 people.
24 people.
Mhm.
The lizard folk count bully. Is it bully wogs or bully wargs?
Bullywug.
Well, I was wrong on both. Bully wug. They don't consider them to be people
You don't know.
because they're big frog things.
Don't know.
Okay. Well, I guess I'll just ask him. I turn and just say, "Hey, you lizard guy. You said the dragon kneelers. There's 24 of them, or 24 them and bully wugs combined. That's such an awkward word to say.
I know,
Bullywug.
Bullywug. He looks at you and says, there are about 24 kneelers. There are many, many, many bullywugs.
Oh, that sounds encouraging.
And how many of your people?
There are many of us too.
Who will meet us on the other shore when we get there? Will anyone see us coming? Is there a party waiting?
There is no party, but I will keep out an eye for our lookout and wave us through.
Do you have leaders, like chieftains or elder council of some sort for your people?
We do.
Do you guys
What
want to talk about
assurances do we have that you're not gonna just turn us over when we get there? How do we know
Abaddon
it's not
with her
working
fireball
with
is
the
our
wall
insurance.
people?
I know, I afraid she's Abaddon's our insurance.
She's C-3PO to the Ewoks of these people.
But what if he tells that lookout some kind of secret message in another language that we don't know, and then tells everybody to ambush us?
Then he dies. He knows that.
Just thinking of every
knows-
possibility.
He knows the score. I told him that if he makes a wrong move, if he does something untowards, then he dies. And
No
he
quest
doesn't
is
wanna-
without risk.
Alright. Yeah, I
Mhm.
trust you. I trust you, boyfriend.
He looks and he says, I do not control my people. I can do my best to convince them, but I am not their leader.
Well, either way, the first step is to get there. So do you guys want to take off?
Yeah, I think we should go. I think we should get out of here before any of those
We're
big
gonna-
worms come back.
We're gonna have hours to talk and figure things out on the way,
Yeah.
anyways.
Right?
Well, we have
So I
to
guess-
go.
So you guys prep your stuff. What are you doing? Are you getting rid of any of those boats, or how you? How you doing things?
We don't
No,
need the
we'll-
extra boats.
But
Right.
but
They're ex-
Vidania
they-
told us we need them in order to, if somebody comes upon us, we'll look
we're-
like the returning party from far away. Could give us enough time. But with less boats, it'll be an instant red flag.
I'd say we take them all.
I say
They
we
don't
take them
particularly
all.
look like lizard people.
So, let's see here. There are 6 boats, and they are big enough that you actually would need at least 2 people to like control a boat. So you have 8, right? You got 8 in your party, including Issa and the lizard folk. So you would be able to realistically take 4 boats if
Take
you
4 boats.
split 2 each.
Can we just? Do they have to be controlled, or could we tie one and drag it in the back of another?
This is not clear water that you are about to embark into, and having boats tied up behind with nobody there to control them is not recommended. You won't be able to prevent yourselves from being caught on all of the things if you try to do that.
Okay.
Erdnot is no sailor.
So we can't take them all as is, anyways. Then.
You can take them all.
I thought you. I'm sorry. I thought you just
No,
said that we.
well,
She's
so
just saying that it's not recommended to tie 'em
right.
up
So
and
looking at
leave
looking at the situation, it is not necessarily in your best interest to take them all, but you guys can do whatever you want.
I mean, when the DM says it's not recommended,
I think
The
it would
worst
be
part-
best 2 per
it's
boat.
kind of like the teacher being like, "Well, I mean, you can do what you want, but I think you should do this. Yeah, you should do that."
We can go. Well, the lizard man's gonna have to come with one of us. Like, I would recommend that he's the third in one of those boats. He can sit in the middle.
That
Paddle.
makes sense.
I want to be with the lizard folk.
I want to be with Vidania.
Erdnot
I'll
wants
go
to be with someone
I'll
who
go-
knows how to sail.
I'll go with the.
Wes-
I'll go with
Eric.
Avedon and Lizard Man. Lizzo. I'm gonna call him Lizzo.
My name is Snapjaw.
I'm
Oh, yeah,
calling you
he has
Lizzo.
a name.
The only problem
Don't
with
insult
going
him.
The only problem with 3 in one boat, that means another boat is going to have 3, so that brings us back down to 3 boats. We should try
Oh.
to at least take 4.
Well, is Issa gonna be? I'd look. Arik looks over at Issa and asks, "How good are you with a paddle?"
You look at this 3-foot tall halfling,
Sorry.
and she
It's,
looks
when I
up.
ask it, it's rhetorical.
Yeah, she looks up and she's
The
like,
paddle's like 6 feet long.
I want to go in. I want to
go
go
ahead
in
and jump.
Micaiah's boat anyway. And she looks over at you, Micaiah, and she gives you a wink.
I wink back at her. I got you.
Victoria, how
sir.
big is the space that you can, when you cast that spell, how big of space can you carve?
It is a very good question.
30 feet.
Is it worth us
30
taking
feet.
off?
That's what I
30
You
thought.
gotta be within 30
30
feet.
feet.
Is it
You
worth
gotta
us
stay within
taking
30.
all the boats then, or no? Is it better to just hide within the
Each
30
boat,
feet?
you guys look over at the boats, and each boat is about 20 to 25 feet long.
Yeah, that's a big boat.
Yeah, they're big.
Yeah. I thought they were small little canoes. All right.
Well, so
Seems like
they're
that's-
canoes, but so hold. I'll show you guys the green
All right.
again.
They sound like cargo canoes.
Yeah.
I mean, it sounds like the best we're gonna be able to do is 3 canoes, Zen, not 4. If we want to, we don't want to have Snapjaw Lizzo Man by himself, and we can't have Issa by herself because she can't really paddle. No offense, Issa.
So it
No,
looks
I
like
can't
we're taking
paddle.
Two boats. I mean, the boat with the lizard man.
I like her sitting. I like her sitting in the seat. She can't see over the gunnel. She's like looking.
If you try to make Erdnot paddle, he's just gonna be going in circles.
Well, that's
I
why
mean,
it's
the lizard man, Snapjaw, he can act like he's manning one of the boats. That won't look too suspicious, and we can hide the other boat. I don't know if that's helpful.
I can cast minor illusion and make it look like we have one box of cargo.
I wouldn't even bother. I just
I mean, we need to just
take
see
off.
what's gonna happen. Think we just need to take off. We know we need to go, so.
Okay. Well, Nernot's gonna take his hammer and smash a hole into the bottom of the whatever boats we aren't taking.
Okay.
Perfectly good.
All right. So you guys are taking 3 boats.
Mhm.
Is that what I heard? Sorry, I was.
I mean, it seems like that's the best we can do without
right.
splitting up even further.
Yeah.
So what's your who's going in what boat? So you guys pack up everything, and Issa and Snap.
Issa, Micaiah, and Vidania, I believe, are gonna be in the boat.
I think it's Avedon, Snapjaw, and me, Arik, are going to be in another.
That leaves Erdnot and Xander.
And
Well, that makes
Issa-
sense because you got a close and a
Suppose-
far. Yeah.
All right. Second. All right. So you guys pull everything together. You smash the other 3, and you push off into the mirror. Second.
Into the mirror we go.
So
Oh, that's cool.
you yeah, so you oh, what was that? Did I lose somebody?
It was just me swearing.
Your computer not cooperating?
No,
Oh,
she's muted herself
DM.
now.
Yes.
DM, the lizard folk should be in the boat with Avedon and Arik.
Oh. Got it. Let me move them. Okay. So yeah, you guys head off and push into the mirror. And it's slow going as you do your best when you first push off to like try not to touch the sludgy water. But immediately as you head off, you probably only make it about like 30-40 feet before you do start to see, as Snapjaw is pointing the direction to go, you start to see that familiar burn mark on some of the like fallen tree logs or trees that are sticking up out of the water that marks the way to go. And so you head on your way. It is very foggy as you continue on. It's definitely difficult to see. And at a certain point, so Micaiah, Issa is sitting in your canoe there, and she does this like awkward weird thing where she like ends up turning around and just facing you, like, so she's in the middle on that middle bar, and she turns around to look at you and she smiles, and she's like, so Micaiah, Mickey, what's your
Yes. How can I help you?
what's your deal here? And she's talking a little bit quiet. She's like, Vidania here has got a sister she's chasing. Erdnot's got some mercenary. Arik's on the run. Avedon's just naive. And Zan is part of the Harpers, but I cannot figure out what your angle is here. What are you doing with this team of adventurers?
Well, I'm not really sure what you're implying by saying I have some kind of angle. But I just know I came across Zan. He was in some need, and I caught up with him and you know, saved his life, you know, and joined this group of adventurers.
So you're
I mean,
waiting
what's
for
your
payback?
angle, Lisa? Like, what's your angle? What are you doing here?
I already told you. I have employers
Yeah, who's your
looking
employer?
Well, don't try to change the
want-
subject.
Well, I mean, you want me to reveal all this kind of information to you? You want me to tell you where I'm coming from, and you can't even tell me who your employer is?
No, that's right. Zan wouldn't be able to tell you his employer either if you didn't know him real well.
Well, let's get to know each other better.
All right, so what are you doing with this group of ragtag adventurers then?
You know, I mean, I'm searching for myself. Isn't that what everybody's doing in life? Trying to figure out who they are. That's all I'm trying to do. I just want to figure out who I am.
Are you waiting to cash in on your favor that Zan owes you for saving his life?
I hadn't even thought about it that way, to be honest with you. I mean, I will say I was in the military for a long time. I see somebody in need, somebody getting ambushed, I will step in. Just so
Military.
happens that he's a great person. He should be voted president for 2020. And you know, he kind of just sort of reeled me in, so to
Oh.
speak.
So now we're getting somewhere.
Where are we going to?
Well, you just said that you were in the military. Why aren't you with the military still? You seem like an able-bodied, capable young woman.
I mean, yeah, did you see that thunder?
I did.
Great thunder right there.
It was.
Yeah. I mean, you know, me and the military, we had a falling out, and I had other things I needed to explore. Like I said, I'm trying to find myself.
An honorable falling out?
Yeah. I mean, relatively. I mean, I was a you know, for hire type of person. You know, more of just kind of a, you know, I guess you could say I was a mercenary.
Woo.
You know, when the money stops, you know, the money was great. I mean, but you know, it stopped flowing, and that it's a little bit personal. I don't want to get into it with you, really. I don't even know why I'm telling you this much. To be honest with you, did you cast some kind of weird voodoo halfling kind of spell on me or something?
Make a deception check.
Did I hear
Oh
any
shit, Makaya's not really very good at deception. A 6.
Okay, hold on.
I also was going to ask, would Zan have heard that since we're not that far away?
So Issa is speaking quietly. Is Micaiah speaking quietly?
I don't think Micaiah knows how to speak quietly. Oh, we suddenly can't hear you.
Yeah. You can?
Can anybody else hear her? Because I don't hear her.
No, I can't.
I can't hear.
You can't?
Okay,
Oh,
now I can.
Oh, there we
There
go.
you are.
Now I can.
You can't.
A quick put. You can't hear me? Whoa, Micaiah doesn't really speak softly. So does Zan hear me?
So
Does he want them?
no.
And I was
10,
not
15, 20,
deceptive. I rolled a 6, so I don't know what that means, but
25. So Zan, you're about how far away are you? At the moment, you're a good 35 feet away, and yeah, no, you can't. You can hear that Micaiah and Issa are talking, but you cannot hear what is being said.
but Vidania asked. She definitely heard me. I'm assuming. She's in my boat.
Vidania, you can make a perception check because you are at the front, also trying to focus on many things. where you're going. There are a lot of sounds out here. Yeah, what is this? Yes, you definitely are hearing this entire conversation. So Issa looks at you, Micaiah, and she's like, "All right, Micaiah."
I don't know what that's supposed to mean, but I mean, all right to you too. I just give her a nice like slap. I obviously have to slap down because she's short, so slap on the back. You know, you're a funny little thing. You know that? I
I
can't quite
do.
figure you out either. I don't really get you.
I am a tough cookie to crack. It's
I can see that.
it's
Yes.
how I've made it this far.
Well, I would imagine so. I mean, with somebody of your stature, but you're quite stealthy.
I am.
You know, I gotta watch my back around you. I feel like. No offense. I mean, you know, it's just my military experience getting to me.
Are we paddling these canoes, or like is this like such thick slop that we're going through that like
No, you're paddling.
okay, I didn't know if they were like gondola style, like a really long stick that we push off against the bottom.
It's a combo. It's a combination.
That's what Aaron's singing to me in the other boat.
That's
He has a striped shirt on.
Micaiah, make a perception check.
Alright.
got a beret on and everything.
I perceive 15.
Okay. So when you go to slap her on the back and say that, you do catch a glimpse of her hand, and when you look down, like you saw her do this, she has one of your daggers like in her hand, and she's like, "Well, I'm usually better at it than this. Here you go. I was trying to make a point, didn't work. Okay."
And what was your point exactly?
Well, you said I was really stealthy. Usually I'm much better at like actually taking things from people. I'm not so, I mean, I'm pretty good at hiding, but
I mean, I already said you're stealthy. What point are you trying to make that you're extra stealthy?
I was trying to make that point, Micaiah, yes. All right. She turns around.
These guys they're gonna be frenemies.
Right? No, I love you, you little thing, but don't be taking my daggers.
You little thing.
All right, my mama gave me that dagger, and I'll be really upset if you lose that.
She's like, all right, here.
Micaiah
I don't
takes it,
believe that
bumps
either, Micaiah.
her belt, turns away and says, "Vidania, I'd rather talk to you. What's going on?"
Not much, girl. Just rowing this boat.
You see anybody to murder yet?
No,
Keep your eye
not
on
yet.
you.
I don't think
That halfling
so.
over
Do
here,
I?
she's a weird little thing.
All
You ever
right.
talk to that one over there?
Yeah. I don't know how much she likes me. And I kind of look over at Issa.
She's weird.
I'm right here. I'm right here, ladies.
You're right there, super stealthy superhero. Alright? Keep your hands off my daggers and you stay over there.
And she goes, or am I? And I'm gonna do a quick roll.
Trying to make me tell you,
Don't antagonize her.
princess.
So she says, both of you make a perception check where she goes, I'm right here, or am I? And then she's,
Oh shit. Okay, I got a 5. That's bad.
Tanya.
Throw each other.
So Micaiah, suddenly, Issa is gone. Like, the mist is very thick in this area, as you can see. But Vidania, like, you look back and you can see Issa is just, like, standing behind Micaiah. There's nowhere else to go. But Micaiah, you're like, where'd she go?
Oh, little ant under my shoe. Where the hell did she just go?
She's
She's
right
like-
behind you. Just turn around. She's a sneaky little thing.
And then she climbs back into the center thing. So you guys all see what's going on here now at this point.
So she basically just ran around her.
Yeah.
In the boat.
Yeah.
We all just see it. Guys
You
looking
see
the
the
other
boat
way.
is like kind of rocking a little bit, and then she goes and sits back down. Does anybody else got anything to say before I...
Aeronaut's just looking at all these children shaking his head and trying not to throw up again into the water.
Alright.
Uh,
So, you travel for, let's see. You travel for a good hour or so. And, it's pretty slow going. You do hear, I'm gonna use some of my little sound effects because I can. Let me do my soundboard here. You do hear, some random sounds that happen as you're...
Someone dropped an oh, Jesus.
oh,
You
what is
don't
it? I
hear
can't
that
hear.
one. No, you can't.
You can't hear that in Foundry?
I'm not in Foundry. I have to turn my
Oh.
computer up. I don't do it because I don't want you guys to get the feedback.
Well, someone just did a Hydro Dugan, then there was a Wilhelm scream.
A Hydro Dugan.
That was a big Hydro Dugan.
That's they don't know of the Hydro Dugan.
Smaller Hydro Dugan.
Let me see. I've got other monster sounds, so hold on.
Oh, I gotta turn.
You hear like just random sounds out in the wilderness as you're going. But eventually, you come to this scene that you're currently all kind of looking at, and
It says game paused at the bottom.
yeah, I don't know why it's still not playing, but that's okay. Oh, I think I have to press play. No, never mind. Might be glitched a little bit. So as you guys, oh shit, what did I just do? Shit. Sorry, what's happening? Oh my god, the boats are on top of you now.
Look out!
Oh, it's because I'm, okay. Sorry. Because I'm
Oh,
still
Zan's
learning.
in the
Oh
water.
god, sand fell out.
Sand
Sand, come
Throw
back.
the
can't
rope.
swim.
Throw him
The
the
boat's
rope.
on top of, or not. Oh my god, what is
On my
happening?
screen.
It's
Oh
on.
Jesus, Erdnot's drowned.
Oh my god. Hold on. I'm gonna reload. Sorry. I don't know if this will reset you guys. Okay. But it's resetting me. Okay. There we go. Never mind. It was showing as the boats being on top of you guys. So. Use this item. So as you guys are going through, I need everybody to make me a... son of a bitch.
You son of a bitch. Maybe that's what Ark should sound like. Just a really shitty Arnold impression.
Dylan, you son of a bitch.
Peter from Seoul. No.
Alright, you guys are going through and you look up and each of you sees these like white shimmering lights up to the left of you. And is my fog not working now suddenly?
I still see fog.
Oh, okay. It's just me then.
Yep, green fog. Bog fog.
Okay. So,
Now the fog's gone.
yeah, something's gone on. Is it back?
Never
Okay.
mind. I'll keep.
Fog's
Yep.
gone, and I can't do anything. Like, my whole browser. Okay, I'm back. My whole browser was spinning and not letting me do anything.
I
now
think
it's
it was resetting because I reloaded.
Oh, okay.
So I need everybody to make me a wisdom check, please. Wisdom save, sorry.
Shit.
Ah, fuck me. Me.
Oh, that's a toxic 8.
Alright. And I'm gonna do one check too. So you guys are going along here, and Abaddon, you hear your name being called out up to the left, the top left, about like 30-40 feet away. Same thing for you, Erdnot and Arik. You guys both hear your names in familiar voices. And so, Abaddon, you look up towards where you saw this like glow in the mist, in the fog, and you see Harmony standing up there, and they look terrified. And their eyes are just like full of terror, and they're yelling, Abaddon! Abaddon, help! Erdnot, you see Dratha, and she's screaming, Da! Help! And Arik, you see Leah, and again, this look of terror on her face, and each of you, like, they are there. They are standing there, and they look terrified, and then suddenly you see this, the people that you see, and each of you only sees who I mentioned.
Okay.
You look, and this like dark mist starts to swirl around them, and then they start to get pulled away into the mirror, screaming your name as they go. And it's them, as far as you are concerned.
Despite all logic to the
Despite all
state,
logic to
the
anything, yes. Your loved ones have just been pulled, and you can still hear them screaming as they go. And Issa also looks up that way, and she says, Kedrick, we have to pull over. And she is trying to convince the two of you, Micaiah, did you see that? Let's go, pull over. And, bitch, same thing again. Erdnot, and Arik, and Abaddon, same thing. Like, your people are in danger, and...
Zan, paddle that way! Quickly, quick!
Why? What's going on, Erdnot?
Are you blind?
And the rest of you can see these white lights shimmering up on the shore here. And they start to move off back into the mirror, and as they are doing so, the intensity of your comrades here is...
There's nothing there, Erdnot. There's some lights in the
She's
mirror.
right there. We must get there before the beasties and the cat get here.
Erdnot, you're mistaken. There is no one here. It's just us.
Give me the stick. I'll row us over to the shore.
No, Erdnot, stop. We have to keep going. There's nothing there.
I'm shouting at Eric. Do you see Harmony? She's waiting for us. She's screaming help. Turn the boat.
Abaddon!
Harmony. I don't see Harmony. I see
Arik,
Leah.
please.
What does Snapjaw see?
Snapjaw is like not really reacting. He's just sitting there watching all of you. Son of a bitch. Sorry. Like, Vidania is,
Swimming.
sorry, she's... I have to move you guys. I wonder if I can group... Oops. Group you all onto the thing. I think so. Oh no, I can't, because it's token. Okay, sorry. Just moving.
Makaya's having some sort of computer trouble. She can't. She got a 21 for a roll apparently.
Yeah, I
but
got
she
that.
can't. Okay, I was gonna say her computer. She said she can't roll.
Okay.
She can't talk.
So you guys who can hear your brethren there and your kin are starting to get a little bit frustrated because nobody's listening to you and your people are possibly being killed. So at a certain point, let's see here, Issa jumps off of the boat as you get just close enough, about good 10 feet away, and you see her start going towards the shore. What are you guys doing?
Issa, come back.
Erdnot does the same thing.
Erdnot! Can I attempt to grab Erdnot as he's jumping?
You can make a strength check. Erdnot
Oh,
against
boy,
Erdnot's.
that's not going to be good.
Erdnot, you can do a strength check.
Just that defeated sound. Oh, good.
Ability check.
Yeah. Alright, nope, he just pushes you off and jumps into the water here. And you're only about 10 feet away from like the shore, not even, so it's not super deep. You jump in and it takes a second, you come back up and you're all like nasty and full of green goo, but Arik, what are you doing?
I think me and with Avedon's probable agreement, we're gonna probably row as hard as we can, and I know I would be, and beach that boat right wherever this spot right here, this right here. If you can see that, we're just gonna like row and just ride it right into the shore.
If you ping, you can hold down and it will show where you want to go. Okay, got it. All right.
Oh, that's cool.
All right. So the boat, you see Avedon and Arik, they row their boats over to the shore here. Snapjaw is looking at like all of you. He's just kind of like looking at each of you, and we will end the session here as Erdnot, Arik, Avedon, and Issa, all of the characters with names that begin with vowels, have all failed their wisdom check, and so are starting to head into the mirror after their loved ones.
Bunch of crazies. Chasing lights in the woods.
All right. So hopefully the audio was better this time. But we'll see. The rest of you are confused by this. So again, you see some lights. And you know what? Micaiah, you can make a nature check. And I can see if you type it in chat what you got.
Zan is also proficient in nature.
Okay, yeah, you can make one too.
Have an idea?
Yep.
She get a NAT20 is always she holding up.
Yep.
Nice. And And
What'd you
again,
get?
I asked this before,
Yeah,
but
go
would
ahead.
Snapjaw know what these things are? Since he lives in the mirror,
He may.
like what's going on?
He might.
Oh, I'm proficient in nature too.
You can make a roll too.
Where am I?
Interestingly, all the ones who are proficient in
Yeah.
nature are doing all right. Look at those dice. All right, Micaiah. Micaiah, I will share with you what you believe these to be after. All right.
After this break.
So thank you so much, everybody who stuck around. Okay, so the audio was better this time, so it just means I have to make sure everything is shut down except for the very few items that I need to have running, and our audio will be okay. So, thank you so much. We are going to, just a reminder, we are doing a giveaway when we reach 50 subs. We will be giving away your very own copy to Foundry Virtual Tabletop, which is what you have kind of seen sort of here in the background, and you can also watch me mess with it on Mondays during my DM prep. Let's see, right now, let's find somebody who we want to raid. There's Salty Sweet Games. I actually would like to go with, again, somebody who's like, we could go with the NAT20 show. They're doing Dungeons and Dragons.
Is that just us, but like 10 years younger?
I don't
Maybe.
wanna see
Oh, what fine messes of human beings those people would be, huh?
that.
Alright, let's do the Nat 20 show. Thank you for watching. We'll be back on Saturday with the bums and Thursday with, I don't know, other things, I guess. We'll figure out whether we're gonna do, sorry. I'm just double checking to make sure that these people are still live. Let me switch over to our live scene here. There, I'll switch over there so that I can go just make a double check look. Make sure that they are still going. Because we don't want to raid and then have me type it in wrong or have them not be playing anymore. But they're
Use
still...
those credits
yes.
Wayne won in the poker match to buy a silence.
Oh my gosh,
next
okay.
time.
So, alright, so we're heading over there. Spam the emotes. We'll see you on Thursday or Saturday. And thanks for hanging out.
Night.
Thanks,
Bye.
Good night,
guys.
everyone.
Bye.
Good night.
Bye.
Man. Lauren was looking so chill and relaxed halfway through that. She was like,
Leg
yeah.
hold on here. Like,
Yeah,
that's what she was.
uh,